So hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming, here with a very special The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now if you saw my video yesterday or my community tab post, you'll already have known what this video was going to be about. It is my 5th Great One fallow deer, and he is absolutely incredible looking. He is fabled hooded, and not only is he my 5th Great One fallow, but he has the one rack that I was missing for Great One fallow deer. So with this guy, I now have all of the racks for Great One fallow, and he just looks incredible. This is the saw blade rack, and honestly, he is just majestic. Now, what actually ended up happening, as I explained in yesterday's video if you didn't see it, was we started the night off with a troll albino, which I thought was a bit of a bad omen to start the night off with a troll albino. It was still a really awesome rare, but you know, max level rare, not making diamond is always unfortunate. Then, later on, a few hours after that, the piebald diamond from yesterday's video ended up spawning in this zone, which was absolutely incredible, and that's why it was in yesterday's video, because I wanted to put these into separate videos. And it was an incredible experience and an incredible trophy that is so special to me. And then a few hours later, in this same zone at Twin Lakes, this guy ends up showing up. Look at him. What a majestic buck. Holy. He is absolutely incredible. Now, like I said, I wanted to split them into 2 different videos even though it all happened in the one night, because to start off with, I could not hunt this guy when I first saw him on the map. It was literally my last run of the day. I had spent all night hunting fallow with a terrible headache, and it was my last run. I was literally just checking things before going to bed, and he was here. And I already had the footage of the super rare, which I know I wanted to put into a video, so I made that yesterday's video, and then last night got to come back onto my map to hunt this guy. And I was just so excited about coming back to hunt this guy and to actually get these pictures and close-ups of him. And it was just so cool. Like, knowing he was going to be there and that I had that to look forward to, that all day I was just excited about it. Now, I did with this guy what I've done with my other Great Ones recently, and followed him to his zones. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't get his early morning rest zone, and I do prefer to get the early morning zones for the fallow rather than the rest zone and stuff after their drink zone, just because it's better for photography, better for filming. It just is a whole lot nicer in general for the atmosphere. And I managed to get this guy's feed zone, which was a great start, which all I do is I'll set the time earlier than their drink zone, then wait for it to become their drink zone time, wait for him to come into his drink zone, and then follow the tracks backwards to the zone that he was at before that, which was his feeding zone here. And then what I would do is then do exactly the same, set it to before the time for the feed zone, and then when he turns up at the feed zone, backtrack those tracks to his rest zone. But when I did that, unfortunately we ran into the same issue again that has happened to 3 trophy animals in this area, where it went up towards the border, the tracks went up towards the border, and then became straight line tracks and then just stopped. And it's really weird. I don't know if the area is bugged or something, but it has happened on 3 separate trophies from this location. And I can only think that that specific area must be bugged. And it's very strange. I don't know what causes it, but it's unfortunate. But we do actually get to see him lying down here in his feeding zone, using those same animations that he would have in his rest zone. And it was really beautiful with this stunning lighting. Unfortunately, very hard to photograph with him being at the particular angle that he was at, but still an incredible sight. He is just majestic. Now, he is the fabled hooded fur, which is the same fur as my first Great One, and it is actually one of my top 3 favourite furs. I absolutely love the hooded, the silver, and the painted. Those are my top 3 favourites. And initially, this rack was my least favourite for the Great One fallow. I will be completely honest, it was my least favourite. And that was purely because I didn't think it looked quite as impressive when we saw it on the live stream as the other racks. But getting to see pictures and videos from other people, I realised that it was incredibly cool looking, especially from the frontal angle. It reminds me of an outline of like a sun that someone might have drawn with the different spikes coming off. It reminds me of that, and it's just always, since I saw it that way, it reminds me of the outline of a sun, and it's just gorgeous to me. Like that, like I said, that frontal angle is so incredibly impressive. The way that the palms are turned looks really, really cool. Like, it is so impressive, and I'm so glad and so fortunate that I actually got to see it in game for myself to actually appreciate how cool this rack actually is, because it is so cool. It's just really fantastic looking. Like I said, it wasn't one of my favourites, but seeing it in game, it is just majestic. Like, look at him. I mean, he is absolutely incredible. What, like, the words that kept coming to my mind were majestic, breathtaking. Like, if you saw this as a buck in real life, it would take your breath away. He's incredible. And this was one of my favourite encounters I got to have with him. Him just feeding along here while I had the camera open, waiting for him to lift his head in this early morning light. It's just gorgeous. Like, it's such a gorgeous scene that I got to capture. What an amazing experience to get this close. And again, I was using all the same principles of stalking that I use to get close to any trophy animals, including the great ones. Using the wind to my advantage, using cover to my advantage, normally approaching from a behind angle, but this time I had cover in front of him that I could then sneak out of and get pretty close to him. I knew as soon as he lifted his head he was going to notice me, but this was just worth it, just to be this close to him and see him feeding along like this. I mean, look at that. That is just stunning. I mean, what a beautiful combo. So gorgeous. I am really in love with how this looks. It's just a beautiful design. Now, like I said, he was going to spot me, and he does spot me, and he gets pretty close, has a good old look at me, and then takes off. Wow. That was cool. It's always cool when they get that close, like as they're walking up, like going alert and alarmed and then actually going to flee. If they get that close when they're doing that, it's always really cool. Just a fantastic experience. Now, this was also a really cool experience. Like I said, I could not get his early morning rest zone, which was unfortunate. The evening rest zone I probably could have found, but the thing is, with the evening rest zone, the lighting is starting to diminish, and it's not as great for filming purposes and for photography purposes. So I got him in his drink zone a little bit earlier, and you can see with the fog and everything, and this little bit of vegetation that I'm using to sort of frame the photo, he just looks stunning, doesn't he? I mean, I can't put into words how gorgeous I think this looks. What a design. What an amazing job that the art team did to capture something like this. I think it's absolutely incredible. What a stunning buck. I mean, I love the colour of his antlers as well. They're quite like orangey brown in colour, and they're very vibrant. And it just looks so good. Like I said, with this coat as well, it is a stunning combo. It is just so pretty. I couldn't have gotten luckier, I don't think. Like I said, one of my top 3 favourite furs. And yeah, I think I like all of the Fallow Deer Great One racks equally now, I think. It went from Irish Elk being my favourite to then Irish Elk and Spoon and Typical being all level, and now I think that they're all equally cool and special to me because I've been fortunate enough to see them all, and, you know, being able to actually see them all in game, I think it does change your perspective on them, and it suddenly makes them a lot more special and a lot more important. But yeah, I just had a fantastic time here snapping away pictures while he was just here chilled. And I mean, getting this close to a great one, it's always a cool experience. Such an incredibly rare animal, and then getting to be this close to it and spend this amount of time in its presence is always something that I think is worth capturing. It's, you know, like I said, they're so rare, and you never know if you're going to get lucky. I have been incredibly lucky with Fallow. Like, hands down, Fallow Deer have been my best grind ever for any species. including whitetail, which I got lucky with whitetail, but I never had whitetail super rares out of 12,000 kills. We're about, I'd say, between 7,000 and 8,000 kills for fallow, and we've got 5 great ones and 2 super rares, which is just absolutely nuts. And just appreciating some of the details in his coat here and the different tones, that the way that they combine, and then just taking a look at the antlers themselves and how unique the structure of them actually is compared to your bog standard fallow that you would find in game normally. It really is very, very unique. Very, very unique and very gorgeous. Just such a beautiful scene with the mountain there as well. I did actually manage to get a couple of pictures of him with the mountain behind him, which I'll put at the end of the video. That was really, really lucky. Now, it came to the time where it was finally time to actually think about taking this guy out. Now, I was challenged by someone in the Discord called Graves to actually take this guy with a revolver. And I chose to take this guy with the 44 Wildcat Magnum. And I actually had to do a little bit of grinding last night to get to the handgun score to unlock the scope and this gun, because I actually didn't have a high enough handgun score on this account, because obviously I reset my account way back when we were like 7,000 kills into the moose grind, so several months ago now. But I hadn't actually worked on my handgun since then, so I had to go and shoot some crocodiles on Emerald Coast with the 454 just to get my handgun score up a bit. But I was very nervous. This isn't a weapon I've used a lot. I did a few practice shots on some fallow whilst I was waiting for this guy to come into zones and stuff, and those went really well, and I was very impressed with the performance. So I felt like I could trust this gun, but I was still going for a mostly broadside angle is what I wanted. I didn't mind a little bit quartering to or a little bit quartering away, so this angle was pretty good. As you can see, he's mostly broadside, just quartering away very, very slightly, but I felt like once he lifted his head, I'd have a very nice, easy shot at those vitals. And he lifts his head, I take a moment because I'm panicking, and then I take the shot, and I'm just looking there and I can see the vital blood, and he's going down nice and quickly. And it's always a moment, like, I always check, yes, that is vital blood. Like, I can't explain to you how nervous I get in the moment before taking a shot on a really, like, important trophy animal. Normally I'm pretty confident with my shots. Not when it comes to something like this. I almost feel sick with nerves. Like, genuinely, I get that anxious about double checking that, yes, this is the right caliber. Yes, I've used this to shoot, you know, other animals of this class. Yes, it's going to be fine. Yes, I know what shot I'm taking. It never gets easier. I'm always terrified. But he is a great one. We did manage to make a vital hit on him, as we saw, and he's a 253.80. Now, this is the lowest scoring rack for the Great One Fallow. It just is. I think it's because it doesn't have very much palm to it, but I always say this, score really doesn't matter to me when it comes to Great Ones. I like to see the medal pop up, but the score itself, that really doesn't bother me. I'm not fussed about it being the highest scoring trophy I've ever shot. It's a great one, and that makes it special enough to me. Like, I don't worry too much about the actual scores, but he's just incredible. Really lightweight at 101.79 kg. Now, obviously, this is the smaller Great One Fallow. Like I said, it has a smaller weight estimate when you spot it or pick up a track, and it has the smallest scoring rack. But even still, it's a great one, and he looks amazing. Perfectly even on the true score, which is interesting to see. A couple of mine have been wonky, but he is perfectly even, and he is perfectly beautiful. I mean, he is just gorgeous. And you can see there, you can see why I wanted a mostly broadside shot. Not a whole lot of penetration, plenty enough to get in there at that slightly quartering away angle, but yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to take anything more than that. I think that was about as much as I was willing to risk with that shot. But he is incredible. What a majestic buck. I mean, just look at that. Look at him. Look at him. He's so cool. Just the way those antlers sit on his head. Like I said, it really does just remind me of like the outline of a sun. Like a drawing of an outline of a sun. That's what it reminds me of. And seeing that on the head of such a majestic looking creature, it's just insane. Like, that's something you would see in like a storybook. And that to me is what these 10 fabled animals should be. They're fabled. They should be creatures that you would expect to see in a storybook. And that's what this really captured for me. And I was really just in awe of this guy's beauty. He is so gorgeous. Just so gorgeous. I am so happy. So happy and so grateful. Like I said, we've now got all of the racks for the Great One Fallow, and we have the Fabled Hooded Fur, the Fabled Golden, and the Fabled Mocha for the furs on my different Great Ones, and they're all stunning, they're all amazing, they're all special to me. And yeah, finally to get the missing rack is really cool. To have all of the racks for a Great One species, I've never done that before. I came close with Whitetail, I'm missing 2 for Whitetail, but I never actually managed to get all of the racks for a Great One species. So this is super cool for me. It's a personal achievement. And yeah, I'm really stoked. I could not be happier and more grateful. Just, this grind has been ridiculous with the luck I have had. It has been so, like, it's compared to my moose grind, it's been night and day difference from what that grind was like to what this grind has been like. And I am just so happy about that. It was a rough few months with moose, and I was scared to death that was going to happen with fallow deer as well. But fallow have been extremely kind to me, and I'm so grateful for that. What an amazing buck. Absolutely incredible. Incredible experience, incredible trophy. I couldn't be happier. Now comes the time to put him in the trophy lodge. Now, for now, we're going to put him here, which is next to the Fabled Golden that we shot for my 4th Great One Fallow. Now, at this point, I'm considering, do I want to go for another Great One Fallow and see if I can get either a Fabled Painted or a Fabled Silver, which is one of my, I love those 2 furs, they're my other 2 favourite furs. Or do I just stick with this now I've got all of the different racks? I'm really not sure. I have, yesterday, after I shot this guy, I went and shot a few moose and a few bears to see what that was like, and bears are awful still, which makes me sad. But I'm not sure if I'm going to continue grinding fallow now I have this guy. I may do, just because the grind has been so kind to me, but I may also go and move on to, whitetail and moose and bears again to see if we can get some stuff for them, because, yeah, I'm just extremely grateful, and I don't know how I can top it, really. Like, it's been fantastic. These guys are incredible. They're absolutely incredible. My luck with them has been ridiculous, and I know it has, and I'm not taking that for granted in any way, shape, or form. I am so grateful. And he looks incredible in the trophy lodge. I mean, just wow. But yeah, now now to decide whether I go for one more to get a second full huddle, or whether I put these guys in the trophy lodge somewhere, in their own places. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these 2 yet, but they're both incredibly special to me, the same as all of these trophies are, and yeah, I'm almost speechless. I almost don't know what to say about it. That's how insane this has been for me. Like, I try my best to talk through these videos and talk and try and explain how I'm feeling and my emotions and all of that, but like, when I spotted this guy, I literally couldn't speak. All that came out of my mouth was, ah, that's a great one. After about 30 seconds, I was able to actually speak to convey what was going on in front of me, because it never gets old for me. It's that kick in my heart of, oh my god, that's what we've been looking for. It's actually shown up. It makes me shake, it makes me tremble, it's just all of the emotions, and it's what keeps me coming back to this game. It's that experience, that moment of, that's the animal we're looking for. It's just, it never gets old. It never gets old. But that is going to be it for this video. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. Like I said, it's been so special and so incredible recently, and getting to make these videos has been an absolute pleasure for me. And getting to share them with you all has been so fantastic, and your support has been really amazing, and I keep saying it, but I'm going to keep saying it because it has been, so thank you so much for that. And yeah, that's it for this one, so I will see you in the next video. Thank you.